So now you can take a look at how the code actually interprets that. So here's the execute command. Remember we said invoke the execute method? Well, here it is. This is the execute. And we take the applied or registered, and that's a string. That becomes a usable variable. String, whether it's in test mode, remember it had run or test. That's where it grabs that. File name add-on, don't worry about that. And here is the forced file name if they want to force it to go back to yesterday or whatever. In this little block, we calculate the date and time of today. Remember, because I've got to go get today's file, I got to calculate what today's date is and put it into the correct format to go get that from the file system. And as you call, it's got to look exactly like this in order to go get it. Okay, so calculate today's date was part of assembling that file name. Now, we had a challenge on this in that we did have to maintain, I had to persist data across the system, and various objects needed to be able to go to a central repository to get data. And what I did was, to facilitate that, I actually set up this thing here, which is sysimport settings. And all sysimport settings is a whole bunch of static variables that merely house variables and data, so that any object can come to those variables and ask for what the current setting is set to. So, like for instance, applied or registered. Remember, that's where we find out whether the guy is whether we're going for an applied file or a registered group to bring in. The sysimport settings is informed of what that is, and from then on, anybody can come and request what that setting is from the central repository. So let's go back now to sysimport main. And okay, so here we're informing the sysimport of what the forced file name is, so that now that's available as a central resource. Everybody knows where to go get it. You know, because all these variables have scope to them, and sometimes they're so tightly scoped that you simply can't get to them any other way. Okay, now once again, test mode. This comes from up here, whether we're in test or run. Whether we're applied or registered, type of file that we're going to go import. And remember, this impacts not only the type of the name of the file and the data that we're going to pull in, but also it applies to how we're going to process the data once we do get it in. And just for kicks, I wanted to show you this. This is the applied people, and we have daily application data, and this is in the applied directory. And I'll just show you that that there is an entire, now we're in the registration group. So this is daily registration data. So you see, it's completely different data, and it's in different file structures, and different fields are populated, and in some cases, some fields, the fields are missing between one and the other. So I really had to process them quite separately.